if somebody used a fork or a plate or a counter for chametz during the year, they would need to kasher it before Pesach. Well, do I need to kasher my fillings and my braces and my dentures before Pesach also? In fact, most of those items couldn't handle a hot kashering. That's the truth. They would fall apart if they would get ruined if they were put into hot water. So most people assume that the food that goes into a person's mouth is not hot enough that any of those fillings or crowns or dentures, etc., should need to have a hot kashering with boiling water. There are some people who are particular and for 24 hours before Pesach will not use anything hot, which minimizes any possible concern. So for 24 hours before Pesach, before the Zman of Achila, before the time when you can't eat chametz, will not eat any hot food. But most people assume that there's no blias, no absorbed taste into those braces and fillings, etc. However, the more serious concern for those people is that there may be residue, there may be crumbs of chametz left in their mouth. That is to say, if those crumbs are left in their mouth, and then we eat a potato on Pesach, that crumb might get in, and I would swallow it, and the person would end up potentially eating chametz on Pesach. So we need all these different dental appliances need to be cleaned well before Pesach comes, before the time comes when we're not allowed to eat chametz. So I consulted with an orthodontist, Dr. Tzvi Rubin, and said to him, "Tell me, what would you do to clean out these different devices in order to make sure that they're okay and there shouldn't be any chametz left behind?" So he said the following. He said, for fillings, crowns, bite plates, dentures, and retainers, a good brushing will do the trick. Will clean out everything that's left behind. What about for things a little more complicated, like bridge work, overdentures, and implants? So he said those have spaces in them, so a person should brush. Of course, should brush, but you should also use a device called a proxy brush. This is a proxy brush. It's a little brush. It's flexible, and it comes with a bristled end at the end, a very narrow cleaning device at the end that you could stick in between all the narrow spaces in the person's mouth in order to make sure that they've gotten rid of any residue out of it. You go, slowly, meticulously through the mouth and make sure you clean out all those places. And the last is for braces. Again, he said a good brushing is a good idea. It's better if a person even has an electric toothbrush or a water pick to do a good cleaning. And then again, they should use a proxy brush to clean between the brackets to make sure they get all the residue behind. Now, in a typical year, all those things that I just mentioned are exactly what a person should do to clean out these different dental appliances. In certain years, such as 2021, Tafshin Pei Aleph, when Erev Pesach is on Shabbos, things are a little bit more complicated. And that's because on Shabbos, most poskim would say that a person should not be using a toothbrush with toothpaste on Shabbos. You surely shouldn't be using a water pick on an electric toothbrush or something like that. So what should the person do? So there's a few different choices. What a person could do is, some people would say is, clean your mouth thoroughly before Shabbos, as we mentioned, with brushing, etc., before Shabbos, and then for Shabbos, don't eat chametz. Let the person eat egg matzah on Shabbos and not eat any chametz on Shabbos, therefore he knows his teeth are clean. Other people would say is, let him brush without toothpaste. Clean out his teeth as well as he can without toothpaste. And others would say, similarly, is clean it really well, rinse your mouth out with like a mouthwash or something like that. Use your proxy brush and go through the mouth carefully to make sure you've removed all chametz and there's no residue left behind after the time when we're not allowed to eat chametz.